Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest. Today we have Keven Flaherty with us, and he is from Northborough, and he is the owner, physical therapist, chief mojo of Flaherty Physical Therapy Incorporated. And you are right off of Route 20, right?
We are.
Right where the big old hen was, right?
That's right. Still there. The big rooster is still there. We're on West Main Street, so the road that is from Northborough into Shrewsbury. And it's an old Agway building, and we use that all the time, and people know exactly where it is. So if you know where the rooster is, you know exactly where we're located.
There's a restaurant there, isn't there?
There is, actually, yeah. A very good Italian restaurant, AJ Tomiolo's. I'll plug them. They're there if you need a good Italian place.
Really good, huh?
They're very, very good, yeah.
Now, how long have you been in existence?
We've been in this location since 2016, early in 2016. I've been in physical therapy for many years, but this is my first time where I had my own practice.
That's good. Where did you go to school?
I actually graduated from Northeastern back in 1991, so kind of a few years ago.
Majored in physical therapy?
I did, yes, yeah.
You knew early on when you left high school then?
Actually, when I was in high school, my mom was a nurse, and I had a lot of interest in anatomy and physiology. Was something that was interesting to me, and my mom encouraged me to volunteer at a hospital.
Where'd you volunteer?
I volunteered at St. Vincent's, the old St. Vincent's,
that
back
thing's
up on the hill.
Now.
It is. And the only thing they had available was in physical therapy. And I found out, I thought I might want to become a physician. Yeah. And then I found out physical therapy they worked with a lot of athletes. The education wasn't as long as a physician. I thought, maybe it's a shot. And
I've gone through the years. I had fractured my ankle, broken in 3 places in 2009, had surgery, had to have physical therapy. It's a long haul. I enjoy it, and I've had it for a shoulder problem. I think there was a leg situation. I've had it, and I don't see anything. Some people just don't want to go, and I don't get it.
Some people maybe just haven't had good experiences. You've obviously had some really good experiences, and we talked earlier, we had mentioned a couple of therapists that you've worked with before that were very helpful for you, and so that some people don't always get that, but that's an important part of healing, is being able to trust that person that you're working with and get a good, strong relationship with them.
It is. It's so important because when I would go to physical therapy, I would look forward to seeing the woman maybe I was working with, and she would be kept up with my life, and she's now, how's this going?
Yeah.
While you're being, worked on and that type of thing, and maybe it was a neck problem, whatever. But it was almost like a soothing experience. Some people say, oh, I don't want to be touched. I'm like, this isn't a massage, right?
Yeah, it's true. We do a lot of hands-on work, but we also do a lot of work just in general exercise and some posture correction, and we have kind of an open environment in our office, so people are able to work with others. They're able to see what's going on. It's a little bit of a community, that people come in. There's a lot of interaction between people, and there's a great social aspect of physical therapy too as well, where people not only are learning about you, but they're learning about others that are in there. Yeah, and so they now recognize some other people that maybe they've come when they've been there, and they follow up on things, and it makes it more. Sometimes physical therapy isn't where you want to be, so if we can make it a place where it's comfortable and healthy, now you look forward to going.
Yeah, I know. I would be there, and I'd see somebody on that fun big ball thing.
Yes, yeah.
I love that thing. And somebody else might be doing exercise, but I saw them the last time, so we had to waving back and forth.
Yeah.
Tell us what people go to physical therapy for all kinds of things. What might people not know about?
We in our office, it's a private clinic, and so we see a lot of different things. One of the 2 top ones that we do mostly is we do a lot of work on the spine. A lot of people with trouble with neck pain or disabilities in their
Lower
neck
back.
and their lower back.
Yeah, yeah.
So those are the two big ones that we do a lot of work with.
Yeah.
We also have some great relationships with a lot of local orthopedic surgeons. So we do a lot of work with people after they've had surgery too as well. We see a lot of shoulders that have had surgery, a lot of joint replacements. We do a ton of joint replacement work in
Yeah,
our
it seems
office.
to be like the soup du jour now. Everybody goes in for a hip or something.
It is, and the great thing is the outcomes with those procedures, they're really good.
Yeah.
And so people struggle with pain and disability before the surgery. They have the surgery, and they do really well coming out,
Right.
which is nice. And they're able to restore their function. And maybe sometimes getting there isn't always easy, but once they've gotten to a better level, that it's much better. They're very, very comfortable. They're able to do the things that they want to do.
Yeah, to me it was like getting through the surgery. That was the hardest part for me. And then, shoo, nice slide down the hill. Because I would look forward to because I knew that going to the physical therapy, each time you go, you're getting a little closer to being all better, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And you got to go home and do what they gave you. Give you for exercises, just don't go like this, you got to.
It's true. I used to work with a therapist who used to always say to his patients, how's that working out for you? So it's really, a lot of it is how much do you decide to put into it. The more that you put in, definitely the more you get out of the experience, for sure.
You find a lot of you call them patients or clients?
We try to call them clients because I think sometimes patient gives you that kind of hospital gown type sensation, and we're very far from that. A lot of people, like I said, we work in this community style. Most people come in, they're in plain clothes, and we're working around their clothing, and we want them to have that sense of feeling like they're in a clinic where they're getting better. They're in a nice community to work with others, but they're not in this kind of drab, dreary hospital environment where it's not a positive experience.
No, it's a happy feeling. I know one place that I went, actually a couple places, it was in one big room.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun because you realize I'm not the only one suffering.
That's really important, because I think a lot of times people, especially if you've never experienced physical therapy, I had a woman who came in the other day who it was her first experience, and you could tell she was very nervous about what was going to happen. And the nice thing was she had said, listen, I'm really nervous. I've not had this before. And so it was great. It helped us say, okay, well, we'll talk through this, and we're going to explain exactly what we're going to do, what you can expect.
Yeah.
And then, but here's some other things that you're going to have to try and do along the lines too as well. And like you said, that what you put into it is very important in the outcome that you get at the end.
There's all kinds of things at physical therapy. I mean, we were just talking about vestibular vertigo. Now, I've got a situation that I have on the left side. I make it a point not to sleep on that side, we'll put it that way, because if I got up real fast, woo, type of thing. That's hard to treat.
It's been, I've only been involved with vestibular work for about the past 5 years.
Yeah.
It's very intriguing to me. There are so many different problems, diagnoses that can bring on dizziness or room spinning. You mentioned some positional vertigo, things like that.
Yeah.
It's like really putting pieces of a very, that 5,000 piece jigsaw puzzle. It's trying to spend the time and figure out through some specific testing and exactly where things are coming from. And it's it's been really intriguing for me. And luckily for me, I've been able to have two staff with some really good experience in treating the dizzy client. And so we're really working together collaboratively on how can we better work with each other and help each other out and get people going in the right direction, which has been really awesome for me because I'm learning so much from my staff that I hired.
Yeah.
And they're really great. And these people are suffering a lot with, if you've ever had room spinning dizziness, it's dreadful. It's a really difficult thing. And
through the years, you learn how to. You don't have to panic. It's not going to kill you. That's number one.
Yeah.
Second, focus on one spot and stay put for a little while. That's what works for me.
Yeah. And the nice thing is there are some specific exercises that someone can do.
The Epley maneuver.
Yeah.
That makes me. I know she used that on me one time, a couple times, and It wasn't fun.
Yeah, we always, we use the disclaimer of, we're going to make you more dizzy.
Yeah.
But once you reestablish that position of, that the concept is there might be a small crystal in, the inner ear that dislodges and gets caught in these canals that are filled with a viscous fluid. And so think of something kinking up the hose and the water can't quite get through the hose.
Yeah.
And by doing some positioning exercises, it creates more dizziness when you do it. But the nice thing is once you unkink the hose and position them in the right position, things improve. And it's dramatic how quickly they can get rid of that really bad room spinning dizziness. So it's fun.
We're talking with Keven Flaherty, and he is the owner, physical therapist, and chief mojo of Flaherty Physical Therapy Incorporated, and they are in Northborough. How can they reach you?
We have two great ways. One is we have a really good website. Our website is FlahertyPhysicalTherapy.com. And then most people get us by phone, and that phone number is 508-393-9000. Those are probably the two best places to get a hold of us.
I think I read about you. Was it an article in... Was it one of the Sunday papers?
At the Community Advocate, probably.
Community Advocate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did it. Did they come in and say, let's do an article about you?
Well, we actually, we use them for advertising, and I've been really found that's been a nice form for me to get information out to the local communities.
Yeah. It worked.
People don't like to read the negative big newspapers, but they love to read the Community Advocate because there's a lot of great community activities that go on in there, and so they do some feature articles on us, and we did a recent presentation about low back pain.
Yes, you did that yourself, right?
I did.
Where
yes.
did you appear? I forgot.
We did it right in our clinic, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, right. We have one kind of area in our clinic which is a little bit quieter, and we had a little PowerPoint presentation, and we just kind of talked about what are some of the causes of back pain. And more importantly, what can you do about it? There was some take-home messages of some simple things that people could do that night, leaving there to help their own back pain, because it's such a common problem. We see a lot of it.
And that injection thing can hurt like you know what.
Yeah, those, there are sometimes people get great successes from injections, and sometimes not so much. But it can be painful. Yeah.
I remember when I had one, my upper hip, a number of years ago, and I wasn't crippled or anything. I just was feeling lousy. He says, "Well, let's do this." So I went in there. I was going to Memorial, and I thought, "Well, this will be a piece of cake. I don't mind injections." My husband heard me screaming out in the hall. They could hear me, other patients waiting.
Oh, no.
I was not prepared.
Yeah.
It didn't help in the long run anyway, but I don't know how far he went, but oh my God.
That's a technique that the doctors have done a much better job with through the years. It's more advanced, so unfortunately you didn't have good success with that. But.
No, I did. One thing too, when you go into physical therapy, you know that you have to go for about an hour evaluation. Right?
Usually.
What's that like?
For us, we do a really thorough question and answer part of our assessment. We want to know what happened. When did it happen? And we want to find out what are some of the history things with each patient. What are the individual things that's affecting them? We do a lot of tests and measures. We'll measure things, ask people to bend and straighten and do some movement things. And then we really want to know what are they looking to try and do? What's the really most important thing that makes them want to come for physical therapy? And then we try to put together a plan to help get them to meet that goal. Some people, it might be going up and down stairs, or carrying their child, or throwing a baseball, or those little things to us may not be that important. For that person sitting in front of us, they're extremely important. And so we want to find out exactly what's that problem, and then what can we do to tell them about what can they do, what should they try to avoid, and then what are they going to do about it? What are some things that they can start doing at home? And then we teach a lot about pain. I don't think doctors do a really good job kind of addressing pain management. Yeah. It's easy to write a prescription for pain management, but we try to focus on what's the anatomy and physiology behind pain. And it's actually normal. The body responds to abnormal stimuli and protection all the time. And so pain is a normal thing. And how does that person respond to pain is really, really critical.
Yeah, some of us don't have the highest pain tolerance.
It's true.
It depends. In your body, I could handle a lot of headaches, but I think like from the waist down, maybe not so much. I don't know. And even my legs wouldn't bother me, but it's strange.
We see a lot of people that respond by guarding. I usually
tensing right up. My physical therapist, she says, "Whoa!" She could feel it. She says, "You're holding it right here." She could feel it.
Yeah, and your body's just responding by protecting. That's the body's job. It's just to always protect.
Is that the fight or flight?
That's a little bit of that. Yeah, definitely, for sure. And we will do. We're trying to do a lot more mindful breathing with our patients. We're finding that when people can kind of stop and slow down a little bit, we lead such crazy busy lives. And when they can just slow down and learn how to try to breathe a little bit and pay attention to that breathing, it's amazing the changes that can come from that. And they're really very, very positive.
Yeah.
People leave there with this sense of, now this is a plan. This is something that maybe will help me deal with this better than how I'm dealing with it currently.
You mentioned something so important, that the breathing and the meditation type, because during, I think I was the only patient that my ortho surgeon had who'd ever chosen to be awake. It was 3-hour major surgery, putting my ankle back together, and you're laying on your tummy. So I was into East Indian meditation. So she gave me a tape to listen to. All through the surgery, I'm laying there wide awake, but with nerve blocks, listening to that and hearing it over and over and over again. It was great. I can't explain it. Maybe other people wouldn't respond to it, but to me it was very comforting.
It's a very powerful thing. It can be a really super healing and a really helpful thing for a lot of people to spend some time actually just slowing down. I think that, when we're in that protection mode, the nervous system is heightened. And we're always just trying to see if we can get that heightened nervous system just down to another level, and just allow the body just to kind of maybe reset a little bit and reorganize itself, make it feel better about itself, and kind of go from there.
Did you go through anything like this in your family? Did you see anybody did you go through physical therapy yourself?
I never did. I just I was really interested in the medical field, and I really I loved sports growing up as a kid, and found that if I could put those two passions together, that would be really cool. And in our practice, we see a lot of student athletes that come in with injuries, and they're fun to work with because they're very
all ages. I mean, there's people in their 80s and 90s that were in the same room with me.
Yeah.
And then I'll see some little kid coming in.
Yeah.
On crutches.
Yeah, it does vary. It goes from as up. I think we've had a few. We haven't had anyone over 100 yet. But we've had a few above 90, and we don't get into the really young pediatrics. Less than 10. Yeah. We do mostly some of the maybe the middle school 10 to 15 ages where things kind of start for us, and then it runs the gamut of in between. We always say we see the parents and the children and the grandparents. Those are the three demographics for us. Yeah, we see all of them. So.
Kevin, how can people get a hold of you over there?
Our two great ways is by our telephone. You can call us at 508-393-9000, or to find more information about our practice or myself or some of our other therapists is our website, FlahertyPhysicalTherapy.com.
Now, and if you're from this area or you're out of the way, you're close. We're off of Route 20. And which is very close to Route 9, Route 122. Even you can come at you from all areas.
I really love our location because it's very accessible to a lot of different areas. We mostly serve Shrewsbury and Northborough. Those are where most of our clients come from. But we have some people that come from Grafton. We have some people that come from Upton, this area. We have some people that come from the Boylstons, West Boylston and Boylston. But our bread and butter is mostly our Northborough and Shrewsbury clients.
Really, it's interesting because I used to go over a couple of places one in Northborough, one in Westborough, a while back, physical therapy. I'm willing to travel from Upton, which is no big deal, to Northborough, Southborough, whatever. If I liked what I was going to, I would probably not go if I didn't like it.
Yeah, and that's where the nice thing is we have some great physical therapy companies in our area, you know, and so
seems like there's a tsunami of them coming.
There are quite a few of them. Yeah, there are, and you know, I know a lot of the people that own the practices, and there's some. It's great that there's more and more acceptance of physical therapy as a viable treatment method for a lot of things, which is great because it's, you know, I think everyone has been hearing about the opioid crisis and all the things going on with that, and I think it's forcing physicians to have to look at how are they dealing with their clients and patients, and pain medications is not the best thing for them, and you know, can we get them doing some more active activities?
Do you run into this a lot? You have a patient come in, maybe one of your staff says, "Geez, I've got somebody I've been working with for such a while, and I don't know if it's helping what I'm doing, but I know he or she is on whatever, Percocet or something like that. How do I find out if it's really helping this person?"
Yeah, that's a tough one, you know, especially if the person's been on it for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where we hope to use some of those mindful strategies, you know, and then, you know, hopefully help them with a weaning process from that medication. You know, that's not something that someone's going to stop immediately with. And, you know, maybe we can just slowly improve their activity level, get them in a walking program, get them doing some exercises, get them breathing, do some different things just to try something different to see can that allow them to get themselves off those medications. I like that.
It's like you're approaching it in a very holistic way. Very.
Yeah, we actually, you know, we try to, and you know, one of the things that we try to do also is create some relationships with other providers. We actually have a couple of massage therapists that are in our office, and my wife
for a separate part of the business.
They're actually So a lot of times we'll have people, once they're done with us, that you know found some benefit from massage. We encourage them to continue with some massage therapy, and that's a really good viable option treatment methodology for some people.
So it's both physical therapy and you also offer massage.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and so last month, another interesting thing is my wife, who has worked in the acupuncture field, she started her own business, an acupuncture company with an acupuncturist.
Right here around this area?
It's right in our building, actually. So, so it's Open Circle.
Right next?
Yeah, Acupuncture and Healing is the name of the company. So, yeah, they're right behind us. So we have this a little bit more. It's not just physical therapy. We have some massage, too. She offers some acupuncture treatments. And
do you ever have anybody come in and teach meditation?
We haven't yet, but I'm really intrigued by that, as well as I'm interested in trying to start some Tai Chi classes.
Oh, great.
Which I think would be kind of an interesting thing for us. It's on one of my to-do list to try and see if I can find someone who was willing to start some classes and you know, start having that as a service to some of our customers.
Now, we were talking about insurances. You cover most all, except
we cover most Medicare, Blue Crosses, the Tufts, Harvard Pilgrims of the world. The ones that we don't accept are Mass Health and Cigna. Those are the two that we currently don't accept.
Are they poor paying?
They are mostly poor paying, and they have a lot of administrative burden too as well. There's a lot of paperwork we have to deal with, and the structures just don't really work for our companies. So we want to work with insurance companies that pay well, obviously, but also allow us to do what we need to do with not a lot of administrative burden. So,
what if a person has? I know some people have it, both Medicare and Medicaid.
Yeah, and so we will see them. Yeah. Usually, the Medicare is someone that's over 65, and that generally covers 80%.
All right.
And then so they would have the Medicare that would cover the 20%.
Okay, so there would be a copay for somebody on doing the Medicare part.
They actually, Medicare covers all physical therapy.
Really?
Yeah,
I was told it's the opposite. Well, you'll have to come in and you'll have to pay. I don't know where I call, but you'll have to pay something.
So, unfortunately, it depends upon what type of Medicare plan you had. Just straight Medicare, it would cover 80% of the care. Yeah. So a lot of people will have a supplemental insurance, like a Blue Cross, like a MedX plan, or.
Well, why wouldn't Medicaid, if somebody had both, pick up?
So Medicaid would cover a little bit, but since we're not a provider, what we do is we just we waive the other 20%. You know, we don't worry about that. So
That's great.
So we'll still see those, you know, those
People on
clients that need
Medicare?
it. Yeah.
Okay, this is very important because a lot of people out there are on both. They said, well, I guess I can't go in because I have the Medicare. He said, no. Kevin just said you will see them.
You know, and so I have a great office team that helps with insurance verification, and gosh, it's so insurances are so difficult nowadays, and they change constantly, and a lot of our day is spent trying to figure out what do they cover, what don't they cover.
Sure.
It is not, although they say they're supposed to be making it as transparent as possible.
Yeah.
It's not. And so we have some really good office staff that will call on your behalf.
Yeah.
So that way, we want people to know exactly what they're going to have to pay.
Exactly.
Most people have to make an assumption that they're going to have to pay something. But with the Medicare clients, usually at best it's a minimal thing on their supplemental part of their insurance. Like some people have Medicare and then have a Harvard Pilgrim to carry the supplement, and they may have to cover something on that side.
So if somebody has Medicare and Medicaid, you'll waive the other 20%, and Medicare will take care of the rest.
That's correct.
Now, how many people do you have in your staff?
Right now we're up to 11.
That's
staff.
a lot for the little ones I've been to.
Yeah,
That's
we
pretty
have
good.
5 of the physical therapists with me, and then the rest are all office. We have some high school kids that are interested in medical field and physical therapy, and they help us
Volunteer?
cover the phones at night. No, we pay them, you know, to help with answering the phones and some of the, you know, general clerical and, you know, cleaning duties in the clinic.
What are the
and
hours
things like
over
that.
there?
We're open Monday through Friday. We start at 7 in the morning. Monday through Thursday we go till 7:30 at night, and then on Fridays we go 7 to 5.
Okay.
We're not open on the weekends, and I want my staff enjoying their weekends with themselves and their families, and so it's, you know, we're open so much during the week that we feel if you can't fit our times, you know, there are some other clinics that work Saturdays, but right now
Not yet.
not yet. We want people to. I want my staff to enjoy their weekends.
So this is your main building, and
It
your
is.
address again is?
It's 411 West Main Street. We're Suite 3 in Northborough.
Which is Route 20. Can't find where that big chicken is.
Yeah, well, it's actually off of Route 20. It's not right on. It's West Main Street.
Okay, it's at the fork. You would keep going left.
That's correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
instead of heading 20 right into Shrewsbury, go left. Okay, so you're down there.
Yeah, we're on the way towards Shrewsbury.
On the way.
Yeah.
Kevin, thanks so much for being with us.
Yeah.
Wish you all the best. It sounds good. I mean,
Thanks so
you've been
much.
since 2016.
Yes.
20. Okay, so you're still pretty new.
We are, and we've had some really great success, and a lot of it's. I have some really fantastic people working for me, and some great patients that have come in, and they just keep telling other people. So
That's
we've been
it.
really successful.
And you're working with doctors from all the different areas, like the UMass or St. Peter's or something like that.
We do, yep.
Okay.
We pretty much have a really wide variety of physicians groups that we work with. Worcester. We even see a lot of some patients or clients that come from Boston physicians too.
I'll bet
as well.
Milford too.
Some from Milford, yeah. But,
Metro West.
a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, a little bit. It's mostly, you know, Shrewsbury and Worcester and that area, Westboro, some too as well. So
Thank you, Kevin, so
Yeah.
much. Kevin Flaherty, and he is the owner, physical therapist, chief mojo of Flaherty Physical Therapy Incorporated, right over here in Northborough. So if you're looking for some good physical therapy, don't be shy. Before we go, what's the difference between chiropractic and physical therapy?
Well, you know, in general, you know, everyone has a little bit of a flair on their treatments. Chiropractors generally work by adjusting the spine.
Manipulation, right?
They're manipulating the spine and the joints to try and get some release and pressure in the joints.
Yeah.
And by doing that, they're able to get some pain management from that adjustment.
Right.
We will do some adjustment work, not to the level of a chiropractor, but our work is more soft tissue based, and we do a lot more exercise and posture retraining and balance work. So.
Yeah, you got to do your homework when you go to physical therapy. You know, it's not I don't want to say a free ride. It's just they're going to give you something to take home. Do it. I mean, I know I had to practice. Oh, I remember when I first came down with the vertigo thing. I had to make myself go back quickly on the bed and then turn my head and this and that. It wasn't any fun, but I knew I had to.
Yeah, and that's where people get good success, you know, and I think, and again, you know, the more that you put into it, the better your outcome is going to be at the end.
So you're working as a team with your physical therapist. This isn't just going in and, okay, I'm going to do this. We're working as a team here, and you're going to keep coming back. We're going to keep working on this, and you're going to do your part.
Exactly.
I like that. I like the team effort.
It definitely, that's what it's all about. It's just getting that trust factor between both the practitioner and the client, and everyone's working together.
And I've had I've had really good experience. I would never say no to physical therapy.
That's good. Awesome. Good.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks for having me, Jen.
And we'll see you next time.
All right.
I guess.